Hey everyone, it's Garrett, and today I'm going to be redoing my Phantom Knights deck profile. The only reason why I'm doing this is because a lot more of the support came out via the Rank Up Magic and Dark Requiem, so this is going to be the final form, more than likely. If anything else, I may add Cursed Javelin when it comes out. But that's to be seen. So right now, this is the last bit ever you'll probably see this, and let's get to it. Okay, first off, running triple Ancient Cloak. Ancient Cloak is the main rota of the deck. You can banish it from graveyard to add any Phantom Knight card from your deck to your hand. That is if it says the Phantom Knights in it. Next, I am running 3 Boots. Boots can add any Phantom Knight spell or trap to my hand. So like the Rank Up Magic, Fog Blade, Wings, any of those. Gloves is the Foolish Burial of the deck. You can send any Phantom Knight card from my deck to my graveyard. And I'm running 3 of that. Next up, I'm running 2 of the Fragile Armor. Fragile Armor just adds a little extra draw power to the deck, and it also lets me go into a couple rank 4 plays if I need to, if I don't have Break Sword capable. And lastly, for the monsters, I'm running 2 Kagamusha Knight. It's a little tech support to go with all the level 3s I'm running, just to get out to the field. Onto the spells, I run 2 Twin Twisters. Just helps get my cards in graveyard faster. Pop 2 cards on the field, be it my own or my opponent's. 2 Rank Up Magic of Phantom Knights of Launch. It allows me to rank up as long as my monster has no units, so usually you go Dark Rebellion to Dark Requiem, and that's what I mostly use it for. Phantom Knight's Spear, just a... If it's on the field, burn damage. If it's in the graveyard, I can protect any dark monster from being destroyed. 1 Reinforcement of the Army to search out any of my monsters because they're all below level 4 and they're all warriors. 1 Foolish Burial to put any of my monsters that I want into graveyard when need be. 1 Burial of a Different Dimension, allowing me to return any of my removed from play. And then 1 Pot of Acquisitiveness, which allows me to return any of my banished back to my deck, shuffle, and draw a card. And on to my traps. I run 3 Needlebug Nest. It adds for more milling potential to get more of my Phantom Knights engraved to make more plays. I run 3 Shadow Veil. It is a card that if I activate on field, the monster gains 300 attack and defense, but if it's in the graveyard, I can special summon it back as a monster, but it's banished when it leaves the field. And in combo with that, I run 3 Dark Gauntlets. Dark Gauntlets is essentially a Foolish for spells and traps, Phantom Knight spell or traps, and also the same as Veil. If it's in the graveyard, I can special summon it as a monster, but only if I control no other card, and it's also banished when it leaves the field. But like I can Dark Gauntlet and send Shadow Veil to the graveyard, so I have 2 special summon targets. I run 3 Phantom Knight's Wing, negates a destruction, and also my monster gains 500 attack until it leaves the field. 3 Fog Blade is like a Fiendish Chain, except I can't attack. You can't attack as well. And Sword, 2 Sword. It gives a monster I control 800 extra attack, and if the equipped monster would be destroyed, I can destroy that trap instead. And all 3 of those traps, if I banish them from the graveyard, I can special summon any Phantom Knight monster from my graveyard to the field, and then it's banished when it leaves the field. Lastly, I run 1 Tomb Shield. Tomb Shield on the field, if I activate it on the field, it can become a monster, level 3, 0 attack, 0 defense. But if it's in the graveyard, I can banish it to negate a face-up trap on the field. Next, I'm going to do my side deck, which isn't much, but I have 1 Absolute King Backjack. I'd like to have 2, but I only have 1 at the moment. And it's essentially extra milling potential. I can look at the top 3 cards of my deck. If it's sent from the field to the graveyard, or to the graveyard, I can look at the top 3 cards of my deck, rearrange them in any order, and then if it's in the graveyard, I can banish it, reveal the top card of my deck, and then if it is a normal trap, I can set it and activate it the same turn I set it. I have 1 Fragile Armor. It's just to add a little bit more draw power if I need be. Same thing with this Pot of Acquisitiveness. Adds a little bit back more draw power. I have one Galaxy Wave. It adds a little bit of burn damage since every time I XZ summon I do 500 damage. I have one Veil of Darkness. More draw power in the sense of if I draw a dark monster, I can reveal it, discard it, and then draw another card. And so it's similar to Heart of the Underdog, except I have to discard, but it's good in this deck because if I discard my monsters, they more than likely have effects in grave. I have two Beginning of the End. This allows me, if I have 7 or more Darks in grave, I can banish 5 of them and then draw cards. Most of these extra deck cards are just draw power anyways, and it's only if I would like to do more draw power. Last two spells, I have Allure of Darkness, 2 of them. Just draw 2 cards, and if I have a dark monster in hand, banish it. If not, discard my entire hand. Either way, I don't go negative because most of my cards in grave have effects. So, and lastly, I have 2 Imperial Iron Walls. Like I said before, the trap monsters would banish when they leave the field. But if I have this Imperial Iron Wall in the field, I just create a loop with my Shadow Veils. And also, just in case I run an opponent like ABCs, they can't summon their ABC Buster Dragon, or whatever the dragon is, or anything else that banishes. So that's my side deck. Lastly is my extra. First off, I run one F-Zero, mainly because I have so many rank 3s that aren't numbers, and so I can go into it, steal any card I want. One Dante. Just adds extra milling potential, and also I can use it to attack if I so be, but I mostly use it to mill and go into F-Zero. One number 86 Ragnaminiad. The reason why I run this is because of the trap monsters. They're all level 4s when they come back to the field, and also I can potentially get his 5-unit effect, which is destroy my opponent's field. One Gaga Cowboy. All the trap monsters level 4, so this is a one level 4 I can go into if I just need a little extra burn damage. One Ghost Trick Alucard. It's a rank 3 and it can pop any set card. I could spam rank 3s with this deck. Submersible Carrier Arrow Shark. It allows me to do burn damage for any banished monsters, for the number of banished monsters times 100. One number 47 Nightmare Shark. This allows me to attack directly with a water monster, or specifically itself in this case. So it's just a 3 through 2000 beat stick. I run 3 Breaksword. Breaksword is essentially the main card to go to in this extra deck because it allows you to go into further plays such as Dark Requiem and Dark Rebellion. Detach a unit, target 2 cards, one I control, one you control, and then destroy them both. Whenever it's destroyed, special summon 2 monsters, and they're both level 1 level higher. I run 3 Dark Rebellion. Dark Rebellion is a staple, so almost everyone knows. If not, detach 2 units and target 1 monster your opponent controls, its attack is halved. And lastly, I run 2 Requiems. Requiem is a monster that allows me to detach a unit and target 1 monster you control. It loses all of its attack and it gains its original attack. And then if you activate a monster effect, I can detach a unit and negate and destroy it, but I have to have Rebellion as a unit. And that's it for my Phantom Knights. This is more than likely going to be the last version of this deck. If anything, I might build different decks around this engine, but this is the last of my main deck that will be changes to it. So hopefully you like it, and like, subscribe, and see you guys next time.